it's Stacy with So Steady, and we've got Ann Moore today, and we are hosting our new Template Tasting Friday. So on Template Tasting Friday, our goal is to deliver you a variety of our amazing educators here at So Steady and Westerly Design, where they're going to be giving you a little tasting of what you can do with templates you already probably have in your library or are just must-haves for the library. Is that right, Ann? Yeah?
That's correct.
And so Anne's going to show you why having a couple of the heart templates and the CircleWorks Outer Rim tool is a must-have for your library. We do have live giveaways happening during this event today, so a couple of chances to win those live giveaways. We're going to post the link to our Facebook page where we asked all of you to tell us what got you inspired with these designs, the hearts templates, and we're going to give one lucky winner away a heart template today. So we're going to go ahead and post that link in there so you can comment during the event and be entered into that contest there. We're going to be announcing the winner for that at the end, and one of you will win a heart template of your choice. And then other opportunities to win, every 25 shares, we're going to be giving away $10 to our So Steady website. So all that can also be used to be able to buy products that you can have shipped directly to a store near you, and we'll have free shipping that way. And the other benefit is that you could use that to be able to purchase directly at a store. So let's go ahead and let Ann take over because she's got this gorgeous quilt here and she's going to tell us all about how she used these templates to make this quilt. Is that right?
Well, what I'm actually going to tell you is I wish I had had these tools when I was quilting this particular quilt. It would have made my life so much easier because, as you can see, it radiates outward just like an outer rim tool would. Wouldn't that have been so much easier if I had had something like that? So I thought, well, I want to just kind of keep it simple today and keep uh, my camera from floating around the room too terribly much. Y'all, my sewing studio looks like a wreck today. I've been working on several projects, so it's bad. It's really bad. So didn't want to show y'all too much of that. But anyway, just the way this radiated out, I thought, you know what, the circle rim tool would have been absolutely awesome had I had it. So now I'm going to take you over. I do have a couple of samples to show you of things that I did with the outer rim tool. So I'm going to turn you around and lay out a couple of things and just show you. So bear with me a minute while I turn this around because I'm also going to have to turn my camera around too. And that should be a trick in itself. All right, I'm going to go with it so you don't see too hard. Oh, you did see my terrible room. Oh, well. It's
I think
bad,
it's
guys.
okay,
It's
Ann.
really bad. All right, let's see if we can get this turned around. We need to go this way with this. There we go. And then I need to hit more and go to settings and camera and back camera. There we go. Oh my gosh, I did it. Can y'all see that?
You did amazing.
Oh, whoops. Almost. There we go. Okay. Learn something new every day. I swear. What is the saying? A blind hog can find an acorn every now and then. Okay, so here is my outer rim tool, just all by its little lonesome. If you'll notice, there are numbers 1 through 18, and then they kind of go backwards from 2, 4, 6, 8 to 18. I don't pay too much attention to these numbers over on the left-hand side, but I really do pay attention to the ones over on the right-hand side. What this simply means is this would be 1 inch away from the actual tool I'm working with, which in my case is going to be a little bit different from that. And I already have my heart attached. So let's go ahead and we'll look at it. All I did was tape this on with Scotch tape. Tape it front and back. Line up your straight line right here and your straight line right here. That's very, very important on most of your templates. Now, here's where I got the idea for this. When I was working on Flower Power Galaxy, y'all remember that quilt? I hope you do. Um, I needed, or I wanted, a circle of circles all the way around it. And it didn't really have any way of doing that. Um, I didn't have a tool that I thought would do that. So I grabbed my outer rim tool. Let's see, let's get this one. And I backed it off. I put my template on there, and I've got one handy so I can show you. This is my circles, and this would be the 1/2 inch circle, which is what I decided to use. So I would have attached them just like this. And I tell you what, let's move this out from behind, from under it, so you can see it a little easier. I would have attached these two. I would have found that pinhole, and I think I probably used the number 3 pinhole, and I just dropped it in there, and then I started making circles. And I would move it and make another circle, move it a little ways and make another circle. Now, I wasn't particularly interested in this quilt whether or not my circles actually matched up or not. I didn't, in other words, I didn't count and say, okay, you've got to have this many circles or that many circles to get all the way around. I didn't worry about that. And on a small design like this, I wouldn't. On a bigger design like your heart or something like that, yes, I would probably worry about that. So I did that and just loved it. And I thought, okay, well, now I've got a fun little tool in my arsenal that I can use, and I can make circles or anything else like that. Well, then this project came along. This is actually a tote bag. And I wanted hearts around it, and I wanted them to be in a reveal. So I grabbed my outer rim tool again and my little heart. Let's see if you can see that over here. Let's move this out of the way. And my little heart, and I attached it, and I went around and I made my hearts. And I did the same thing here. Probably I didn't have it attached at this point, but I could have left it attached. It wouldn't have mattered. And then I brought it on up here, and I put it, look like I put it on about a 3. Well, you also remember you have to flip this. So make sure you have tape on both sides, because you're going to come from here, stop up here. You're going to flip this around, reattach it, come all the way back down. Now today when I work on this, I am actually going to go around each heart twice. The reason I'm going to do that is because I really don't want to bury threads on this project. What I'm making is my sister-in-law had surgery, and she's going to be coming home from the hospital in a few days. And my husband asked me if I could make a little pillow for her to put between the seat belt and her brand new incision. I said, yes, I can do that, because I had one years ago when I had some surgery, and it really helped a whole lot. So I have a project that was already started, and he said, can you put a heart on it? And I said, yes, I can do that. I said, how about if I put 8 hearts on it? So that's where this idea came from to work on this project.
You know, an interesting question just came in. Someone said, what kind of machine does this work with?
Every machine. You can use it with your, what's that little, the featherweight? You could use it with your featherweight. I have used it on my, I have a Bernina sit down, a Q20. It would work perfectly with that. It probably would work with a long arm, but I am not versed in long arm, so I can't speak that language. But you might just test it out and see what you think.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this is, in order to use these rulers, you need a ruler foot.
Yes, you do.
Long arm machines come with a ruler foot, but that's kind of the base of it. And then once you have that, you can set up your machine to do basically drop the feed dog, set it into free motion world, and be able to create these amazing designs right there on your fabric.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any questions that come in, Stacy, please let me know. Somebody says I have used it on my Bernina 440 QE. Yes, I'm going to use it today on a B790. I have used these on as small as a Bernina B215, which is probably it is the smallest Bernina that they make. It is purely a little travel machine. I'm seeing lots of things coming in. They're using them on their genomes. Yeah, you can use them on anything. They are very much akin to the artisan sampler ruler set. It, all you're doing is, I don't know if, I think you can see that pretty well. All you're doing is creating your own template. Like we have a few of these already, and hopefully you have the artisan sampler set. That came with the artisan garden quilt that I designed recently. So hopefully you have that. But if you don't, or if you want more, like
Yeah, and I thought I would show them one of the templates in the artisan.
Yes,
There
great.
they are.
Yes, yes.
So this is one of the templates in the artisan sampler, but there's several of them in it that are
Yeah.
just amazing. And what you're likening that to is the hole placements, right?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Now, like I said, my whole placements are going to be a little bit different because if like here's my number 3 right here. Well, 3 inches from this edge would be where this is. But since I've added a template, I've added another probably inch and a quarter, maybe inch and a half. So you have to be mindful of that, and you may have to do a little bit of measuring, but we all have rulers and measuring tapes, so that's not something that we can't do. Absolutely. Now I laid out some templates, and this is the quarter rim tool. This is what you get when you get it. It's funny, this was originally designed to be used as a drawing tool, not as a tool for quilting. But I changed it and just made it where I can make circles with it. So I love that. I laid out a few templates that I thought would be fun with this little guy. Of course, the circle, that's the original. That's the one that kind of started it all for me, anyway. What about a star? And what if I'm making a really big quilt and I want to get way out there? Well, I can come, look how far I can go. I don't have a ruler or a tape measure handy, I don't think. Let me see if I've got one. Nope, it's not in here. But you can see this is probably a good 12 inches from here to here. So I can get out onto, like, say, a square quilt or something. I can get out there about 24 inches and make a great big circle of quilts, a great big circle of stars all the way around it. How fun would that be? Now, I did make a quilt recently and I quilted it with stars. And I wish I had thought of this because it was a square quilt. And that would have been fun to have had just a burst of stars coming out from the center. But what I did was just quilted it as just random stars here and there. I had all 5 star of my star templates. And I would just make a star, do a little flip, a little kind of a circle over to the next place I wanted another one. But this would have been outstanding. So maybe the next time I do a square quilt in particular, I'll use this. But you don't even have to use it on a square quilt. You can use it on whatever quilt you want to. So let's go to some other designs. This is an oval. Why not use an oval with it? Oh, this one's great. This is the Spinifex number 14. Would that be cool to have a whole circle of those around a quilt? And this one, of course, comes in about 5 different sizes. So you could even start really tiny and towards the center and then just radiate out and keep getting bigger and bigger as you go if you wanted to. And listen, the sky is the limit on what you can attach to this outer rim tool. I just pulled a few of these, but there are a lot. This is the Spinifex number 11. I've got it turned upside down, but that's okay. You get the idea. You could go either way with that. You could have it pointing in, or you can have it pointing out and come up with like two completely different designs. And then here's another one that I picked up. What about that new grand leaf? Wouldn't that be fun to have a circle of those on a quilt? I have had more fun with this tool. You just cannot imagine. And then here's another one that I laid out. This is the stepping stone. That is one of the most unique templates that I've seen. And all I'd have to do is just put it on here. I probably would put it upside down. That way I can use this. I don't know if you see this or not, but there's a little opening where your needle can come in and out. And that would make that one so much easier. And now on the design that I'm going to quilt for you today, I am not going to attach my hearts. I'm going to have them floating. But if you want to attach them, you can, and you might have to do a little bit of measuring to figure out if how many you need to go around in a circle. But this is the design I'm going to use today, and this is just one of our Spinifex templates, and it's not the 14. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but I thought it was really pretty and I thought that it would be perfect. Now I already have a thumbtack attached because I thought that's going to save a little bit of time, but here it is right here. And I just put it in. I want to go, like I said, I want mine floating, so I don't want them touching the design that I have right here. So, okay, that's not a problem. If I go up a half an inch, that's going to put it floating barely above. So let's go up what we would consider like a full, I would go to 4, which would give it almost a full inch. And that's going to give me that nice floating little heart that I want. Now, I'm kind of lazy when it comes to burying threads. I don't know if I'd call it lazy. It's something I don't like to do. But if I go around this design twice, then I don't really feel like I need to bury the threads. It can actually just, I can stop them and I can cut the thread. I'm even going to let my machine cut the threads, and that way they'll always be at the bottom in the back. And like I said, this is going to turn into a pillow. So everything that you see inside here, in other words, there's already 3 or 4 little threads right here. They're not going to show, and I don't know if you can see those or not, but there's a few little threads. Those are not going to show simply because they're going to be on the inside of this pillow that I'm making. So let's put this back on 4. There we go. And I'm going to scoot you a little bit closer to my machine, and I'm going to use a turquoisey colored thread. Let's get this a little closer for you. I'm going to use a turquoise thread because I want you to be able to see it. And my sister-in-law, she likes really bright, pretty, colorful things, so I know she'll like the teal-colored thread too. I'm trying to get this where you can see it, but you don't see the big mess of my studio. How many of you, your sewing room is a big mess right now? Just curious. I know I can't be the only one. I know I can't be the only one. All right, I'm going to flip this towards me because I think it will be easier for you to see if I work towards me. Now remember, I've got a couple of lines. There's one right here and one right here. This lines my project up and makes it all come out exactly the way I need it to. And I've already lined up and taped front and back my outer rim tool. So here it is. Here's the straight line with it and the straight line here. I have stable tape on both sides. If you see this, you can see underneath there's stable tape. And that's because I'm going to be flipping it over, and you've got to have that. I have quilted it without it, but I make a mess when I try to use a a template without the staple tape. They're harder to hold in place, and every now and then, if I don't have it on both sides, I accidentally turn one upside down. How many of you have ever done that? Yeah, everybody's saying mine's way too messy. Mine is a total mess. But you know what? We're busy. That means that we're working, we're doing stuff. So it's okay if you have a messy studio, I think. All right, I am going to needle up. First, I'm going to drop. My feed dogs are dropped. I'm using probably an 80-12 needle. I'm using a Bernina B790, but that's just my personal preference. You use whatever you have. Any machine I think will work great. Like I said, you can even use your featherweight. I have seen that done. Now I want to drop that presser foot, my ruler foot, right out here anywhere, and then I'm going to slip it inside here, and then I'm going to needle up and needle down, and I hope I don't hit this camera too terribly many times, but I want it really right where you can see. Oh, and there's that Bernina burp. Let's pull this and get it out. There we go. Put that back in place. And now all I'm going to do, like I said, I want to stitch twice. I'm going to see if I can bring this up some. There we go. Oh, I like that even better. Hopefully y'all can see it really well too. Now I'm going to hold these threads with my finger as I start out because I don't want to push them down into the needle plate. I do just tiny stitches because I'm going to actually just stitch around and stitch back. Now you don't have to do it this way. Like I said, I'm doing it this way because I don't want to bury threads. This is a pillow. It's going to get a lot of use for a few weeks anyway. Okay, now I can cut those threads and get them out of my way. So let's go ahead and do that. Just make sure if you do it this way like I'm doing, don't cut your needle thread. Now, I can take this, turn it around, put it back in place. Go ahead and drop your presser foot. And let's put this back on. I need it at the number 4 position.
I love this. And someone was asking, what type of gloves are you using?
I like Machinger's gloves. But seriously, guys, there are a lot of gloves out there. Find something that's comfortable to you, that you like. They just happen to be my favorite. But I've used some other ones, and they're good too. There's not, and I'm doing 4 tiny stitches. I wouldn't say that there is one brand that's better than another. I really don't know that. I just like these because they're really lightweight, and I don't have to, they're not hot.
What are you using, a 2-inch arc right now?
2-inch arc?
Or
no,
heart?
I'm using heart. Yes, I am using the 2-inch heart.
If you're putting the heart or any other template on the quilt, would you still go around it twice versus varying your threads?
Not necessarily. I just chose to do it this way today because I wanted to not bury threads. But no, I bury threads a lot. I seriously do. But I just thought, you know what? This is going to give me a nice bold. Let's slide this out here a little bit. Let's just let you look at that. See how bold my heart is compared to this design, this stitch right here. Anytime you want your quilting to be bold, you need to go over it like twice, at least. 3 times is even better. And a lot of times, especially in the beginning when I was coming up with quilt designs, I wanted my ruler work to be what was prominent. So I would go over it 2 or 3 times. And if you go over something like, say I was right here on a heart. Let me get a pointer instead of my finger. That would be easier. Let's say I had an arch that I was working on and I needed to be at the opposite end when I finished so that I could go on to the next one. But I wanted it really bold, so I would go 1, 2, and I would come back to 3, and that way I could move my arch and keep going. If I only did 2, of course I'm going to end back up where I started from. So you have to think about that whenever you're quilting. Where do you want to start and stop? And if you are going to continue with a design, you may want to measure it out and just see, okay, am I going to end up where I need to? And I suggest, Stacy, that they use our drawing tools, our drawing pad, and the little disc, the drawing disc. So many designs I draw out first because we pay at least $12 a yard for fabric. That's a lot of fabric to be wasting just to learn to practice something to see if it's going to work out. So I would draw it out first, especially if you're going to make like a big design or something like that, and you want to see what the positioning is going to be. I love our design tools. Before we had the drawing pads, I was going to the newspaper office and getting leftover paper from them, which is extremely hard to find these days. Ask me how I know. And so now I don't have to. And what I like about ours is we have all of the lines in place so that I know exactly what I'm working on. Okay, let's get this in there. Oh, let's go ahead and drop that. Back on that number 4, but I flipped my template.
I wanted to remind everyone a couple chances to win today during our live template tasting event. We have the opportunity for you to win one of the heart designs by commenting on what the design or the template itself inspires you to want to make, create, or finish. And then I also wanted to remind you that if every 25 shares, we're giving away $10 to our So Study website. So that's going to help you buy one of these amazing tools or something else. So go ahead and share away. And of course, do lots of comments and likes in here. And we'll be picking our winners as soon as we reach those goals.
Yes, that's a wonderful offering, Stacy. I'm glad y'all are doing that. Oops, I didn't pick up my bobbin thread. Let's try that again. Now, typically we do not cut our threads with our machine. The reason being, you can't see it, but my thread here is less than a 1/2 inch long, which means that I have to get a pair of tweezers to actually be able to pull this. So be mindful of that. I always kind of slide my template out a little ways before I put my ruler foot down. And that's just to protect my ruler, my template. I don't want to catch the edge of it because there are a few machines out there, and I remember seeing them in some of my classes that want to try to force their way through that template because they don't realize that's not a they don't realize that's a template. They think it's they're not pushing down hard enough on the fabric, the machine, not the student. So I want to be mindful and protect my templates. Our templates, our tools, we spend a lot of money on them, and I want to take care of them. Let's go ahead and cut that. And that's just a pair of scissors with a, that when you rest them down on the fabric, they have like a curved blade to them. It just makes it, to me, easier to cut my threads. A lot of companies make those particular scissors. So I can't just give you a brand specific because there's a lot that are really, really good. Just do a couple little tacking stitches there. And cut that thread. Now I already have 3 of the hearts made, so I'm going to move this out of the way so you can kind of see. And I'm floating about probably a quarter inch away from the other design that I have on here. So I think the blue and the orange are going to be kind of cute together, and they're on a really pretty hot pink piece of fabric. And I think my sister-in-law is going to like this really well. Yep, there's that little tiny thread. Let's see if we can reach under here. Probably need a straight pair of tweezers instead of this pair that I'm using. But that's okay, it'll work. What are some of your ideas of how to use your outer rim tool? What template are you thinking about using for your designs? If any of you have it or have been done the class, my artisan garden templates, my artisan garden quilt, I used all of the templates in the center. I used every one of them, I guess, that I had, and made a design and just kept radiating outward and outward and outward until I got it finished. Okay, let's put this on before I do that. Here we go. Now, I did not cut my thread, but I'll go ahead and finish this and then I'll cut it. It doesn't so much matter when you cut the thread where you started. Let's cut that.
We're giving people that are really excited to try this with the grand leaf.
Oh, yeah. I think that would be so cool. I love that grand leaf. To me, that looks like a fleur-de-lis. Now, what if, I'm not going to do it, but what if I wanted another heart? Like I said, this is going to be for a gift, but what if I wanted another heart a little bit above? All I have to do is go up to a higher number. Look at there. And I can make floating hearts all the way around this. And I could be consistent every single time I did, because I would go to, this is number 7. It says 12 and then 7. So all I did was go up to number 7. So I could come all the way around my quilt with the number 7, and I would have all of my floating hearts perfectly spaced all the way around. So is that easy or what? And I'll keep going because I know she's got some giveaways for you. I'm using Isacord thread. I know a lot of people ask that question. I love embroidery threads whenever I'm quilting. They have a sheen to them that I really like. And most sewing machines are very happy with embroidery threads. And a lot of your machines, if they're embroidery machines, your company will have a particular thread that they like to use, like maybe Metler, it may be Signature, Isacord, whatever. And I just dropped my scissors. I'm going to grab them before I step on them.
So I'm going to do the giveaways as soon as we get to 25 shares. We'll have our first giveaway. And then at the very end, I'm going to announce the winner to the inspiring hearts comments. And we'll review some of those things that make people want to get their hearts going.
Oh,
Currently
yeah.
we've got about 16 shares. So we just need about 8 more.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
math here. 9 more to get to our 25.
There you go. When Leonie West designed our templates, or she's still designing templates, but she tried to think of everything that we might need. I don't know if you can see them or not, but she has all kinds of little lines. Like if I wanted to line this one up in a row, I have a line right here that's engraved into my template. If I want to join my hearts, right here would be the fullest part of the curve, and that would be where she would suggest that we join it. I also have a line right here, which is my dead center. And then I have a line right here where if I wanted to join hearts upside down, that would be the ideal place to join that. So she's kind of thought of everything that we might need. And the heart set comes, I think there are 5. Am I right, Stacy? Are there 5 hearts? 5 sizes?
Let me check. I know I just posted a link to that a little bit ago here. It's a 6-piece set.
6. Okay. So there are 6 hearts. I use hearts a lot of times, especially like for a baby quilt or, something I want to give to somebody that's really special, or I want to. Um, I'm working on a quilt that has a lot of pastels in it. Hearts would kind of be my go-to. You can't go wrong with a heart. Unless you're making, a really masculine quilt, and then I would certainly throw a heart into that. I hope somebody will use the stepping stone template. And then when you do make it, would you please post it on Westerly by me? We love to see what you are doing. And I go in there almost every day and just check and see who's doing what. It's also a good place to find inspiration. And a lot of people think, well, I just don't have very much imagination when it comes to quilting. Well, you don't really have to have a whole lot of imagination when it comes to quilting. You can go out online and you can see what everybody else is doing, and you can get ideas from that. I do it all the time. I, I have my inspiration pages that I go to give me ideas, and sometimes I may copy it exactly, or sometimes I may just use it as an inspiration. This is the 2-inch heart, but I could have used a 5-inch heart. I think it would have been too big.
Ooh, here's an idea. Someone asked if you could make a daisy using the heart.
I think that you could. I definitely
think
you could. Yeah. You can make all kinds of little flowers with your heart tool. What about a tulip using the heart? Why not?
Oh, that would be perfect.
Mm-hmm. We have some really creative people in our students. I can just see some fun things coming along. Okay, I could finish that out, but I think I may go grab just another piece of fabric. I've got some laying around here, and I may just attach a different one and kind of show you what that would look like. So Stacy, if you'll take it away for a moment, I'll grab something. It's already going to have quilting on it, but who cares?
Sounds good. All right. Well, I thought I would take us over to our Sew City Facebook, where we are showing off some of the inspiration that all of you all have shared. And just letting us know what this design makes you want to create, finish, or gets you inspired to work on. And someone actually said earlier that it was a great Mother's Day template, which I thought that would be kind of fun. Oh, another one said that they would make chocolate covered strawberries because the hearts make me think of them. So I like that. I saw another one that I loved that they said that this design itself reminds them of a stained glass window, and that they were inspired to do some template with maybe a stained glass type of picker fabric. And I kind of loved that idea too. So this is where we want you to share with us what this design gets you inspired to create, make, or finish. And if you do have a quilt that you think you'd want to add this design to, this is a great place to post a picture of that. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep adding to this if you can. There was some different questions on some of the tools that we were also sharing. So
Okay.
And so we'll go ahead and post some links to those as well.
Okay, great. All right. I just really want to use the stepping stone. So let me grab my tape. And I want a flat surface to put this on whenever I'm putting my tape on. I want to make sure that I have this lined up. Let me see if I can get this over where you can see it. There we go. All right. I'm going to line that up and I'm going to tape it. Just like that. Just make sure it's just taped down really good. Now, when I flip it over, it's going to be floppy. As you can see, that's fine. That's fine. But I do want it taped on the other side also. It doesn't matter. My tape it actually goes beyond the edges of the tool. Doesn't matter. That's okay. Now that makes it still floppy, but a little less floppy. Now I left this end of it open so that I can slide my needle in and out if I choose to. But I still have my straight line, my point right here. So let's go over here. I have a piece of fabric. Let's raise this up so you can kind of see what I have. It's just a design I did a while back. And really, I never did anything with it. But what if we take this and put a stepping stone kind of right in the middle of it? Let's get a little closer in. There we go. What if I do that? And I can start actually way over here, and I can make 2 or 3 of these. And I'm not going to have these join. Well, you know what? I could. Let's do that. Let's just get way out here on this. Is just a scrap fabric. I'm not going to do anything with. But I'll show you what I would do if I wanted to join these. Okay, let's pull you back down where you can see. Okay, where I will join it will be right here. Let me make sure I don't have stable tape on both sides. So let's flip this over so that I do have stable tape. I can start over here because that's actually where I'm going to join it. You see this straight line right here. That's where these will join. They're going to connect to each other. So let's go ahead and put our needle down right there. And remember, that's a really short thread right now, so let's grab tweezers to pull it. Slide away from the edge of my template to drop that presser foot, ruler foot. Some machines will come with their own ruler foot. Some will not. To my mind, there's only a couple that come with a presser foot right now. So we have you covered though. So Steady has 6 different ruler feet that will fit about 3,000 different machines. So we've got you covered. If you need a ruler foot, we've got it. I'm going to hold this, pull this more towards me so you can see it a little better. And then I'm just going to follow around the edge. This is the stepping stone that I'm using. If you see yourself making big stitches, increase your speed a little bit. Okay, right back where I started from, I'm going to slide my template to the left, and then I can keep going. However, when I'm through with this template, it's going to have me right back where I started from. So I'm going to need to travel around either top or bottom to the other side. So I've chosen, I'm going to travel around what would be considered the bottom side, which would be the side that's connected to the outer rim tool. So I'm going to start off in that direction. That way it's just easier for me to remember to always go that direction. Now you can cut threads if you don't want a double row of stitching. That's your preference. And there's no quilt police that say you can't do that. Okay, I'm back where I started from, but remember I've got to get over here. So all I'm going to do is just travel. I'm going to take it nice and slow as I travel so that I can stay on that line. And it looks like I'm missing it ever so slightly, so I moved my template just slightly. I probably have moved it just a little bit whenever I was coming around. Okay, back where I started from. And I pulled my template loose, so let's tighten that back up. There it is right there. Same thing again. I want my double row of stitching on the bottom end. So I'm going to start in that direction. It looks like the top end from where you and I are viewing it. It'll actually be the smaller side of the circle. Okay, I'm ready to travel around and go to the other side. And stop when I line up with that line right there and keep going. Move this around. Looks like I need to pull to the, yeah, I'm off a hair, so I'm going to just move my template. I probably just slid it. I don't let those kind of things bother me. I did correct it, but I'm going to show you where it is. Right here, instead of seeing two lines of stitching, one line of stitching, I can see two. It's not enough that I'm going to let that bother me. I'm going to go right on. If it bothers you, you can always go in and cut threads or just correct it. But that's not enough that it will bother me. I'm like I said before, I'm a recovering perfectionist. So I'm trying to not let little things like that bother me, but I like to point them out to you so that you are aware it happens to us too. I don't have room for one more, so let's go ahead and cut the thread, and I will pull this out and show you what we have. Move my hand out of the way. I can't move that arm out of the way, sorry. But you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. Let's go ahead and cut those threads. And had I had a large enough piece of fabric, we could have gone all the way around this design. Let's raise this up even more so you can see even more of the design. And there's a huge line right through the middle of it where I have a shadow. Let's see if I can move this out and move that away. Nope, that just makes it worse. Okay, let's just get down close to where it is. Well, Stacy, that is all I have for the students today. What all have we found out from our students?
Let's take a look and see where we're at. We had 16 shares last time I checked. We are currently at 23 shares, guys. We just need to get 2 more. So in the meantime, I will go ahead and pick a winner for our live comments. And those are the comments on what the amazing heart templates inspire you to want to create. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner right now. And let's go ahead and see who that lucky winner is. The lucky winner is going to be Patricia Brooks. You are the winner today, and you are the winner of a heart template of your choice. Again, the outer rim tool was kind of a big highlight for today as well, and again, that is the Circle Works outer rim tool. We'll post links to that. But Patricia, you are the lucky winner of a heart template of your choice. So congratulations on getting that template, and maybe get set up with a ruler foot if you don't already have one, and try out some ruler work. It's a fun way to be able to create really, really precise designs and have all your quilts look like Anne's, right, Anne?
That's right. Seriously.
With a little bit of practice.
Well, yeah, you have to practice. But the templates really have given me the perfection that I was looking for in my quilting. I'm working on y'all saw it a while back. My grandmother pieced a top for me 36 years ago, and I never quilted. And I'm finishing it up now. And I'm so excited. We did it as a class for one of the online classes we did a few months ago. And I'm using templates to quilt it. And I used a heart. I used what else did I use? Some circles and things like that, but it's just coming along beautifully. And Granny would be pleased. She's been gone for probably about 12 years, but she'd be tickled that I'm quilting her quilt.
Oh, I love that. Now, I wanted to go ahead and choose a winner. We did get to our 25 shares.
Well, yay.
So let's go ahead and pick a winner for the $10. And again, that's $10 to our So Steady website. And that is going to be Jan Weishart Stevenson. You are the winner for $10 to our So Steady website.
Well,
So congratulations to Jan for the participating in our event today, and of course to Patricia. So we'll look forward to having all of you joining us again next week for template tastings on Friday. We'll have another amazing class for you. And thank you so much, Anne, for sharing all of your gorgeousness. You do such an amazing job with ruler work. It's always amazing to have you on, inspiring everyone. So I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. It's a lot of fun, and I love showing, students what I do. It's a lot of fun.
You do a great work with it. All right. Well, everyone, have a wonderful weekend. I know that Donnell will be joining you live for her Facebook event, and I'll have to check and see if we've got one for Kate on Sunday, but check out our website events to learn more about all those opportunities. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.